You guys, this is going to be part 12. And you guys, I just spent 35 minutes doing a video, and it sounds so convoluted, I stopped it. It's 10:39 on April the 7th, 2025, and I spent 35 minutes doing a video, and I'm going to start all over again because I feel like I'm really very convoluted. Let me begin. I'm going to start over again. I'm going to say this to you. What's very important is that I articulate to you what this is about. This is part 12 of California Commits Hate Crimes, okay? And specifically, the most important aspect is what I am documenting is government sanctioned trauma, government sanctioned terrorism. It's equal to what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street. This is anti-Black people in power or who have the resources to harm Negro Black Americans. Okay? Tulsa, Oklahoma was them purposely trying to harm someone or harm Black people financially, to harm them financially and to damage or destroy their property. So we as a group don't have resources or power. It's the attempt was it came from hate and jealousy, and the intent is to harm a Black person or a group of Black people to prevent us from having life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, to prevent us from being financially stable so we can compete in this capitalist society. Okay, what happened in Black Wall Street, what happened in Tulsa is what happened to me. It's organized collusion, civil rights violation, constitutional violations, hate crimes, fraud, and the cover up for the simple fact that I'm Black. I'm married to a wealthy white, abusive alcoholic, and I'm showing how individual agencies, judicial officers, people who are in government who work in concert to hurt me for no other reason but I'm Black. So I don't know the particulars about Black Wall Street, but it's where they purposely demolished what Black Wall Street to deprive Black people of economic well-being. Tulsa, Oklahoma. So ultimately, I think it I'm sorry, I struggle with the words. It is, I'm struggling with how to say this. It amounts to jealousy, hate, and intentional, intentional act to harm me and deprive me of economic independence for simple fact that I'm Black. It hurts so bad. So you guys, this is part 12, and I'm gonna say, that's my son noise, noisy car. He bought his car and it's noisy. Like, where's noisy car? I'm gonna say my affirmation. Sorry about drinking water on camera. I effectively communicate my story. I want to look at this. I don't want with my glasses. I want to be able to say this on my glasses. My old ass. I got to put the glasses on. I effectively communicate my story to those who have concerns. Sharing my story will help facilitate my healing. My story is reaching powerful people who have the knowledge and ability to help me obtain justice. I am a Black woman, descendant of chattel slavery. The ancestors will help me improve life for Black Negro people. I will help Black Americans finally live in harmony. Okay, I want to speak quickly about, I say Negro because I consider myself a Negro. Okay, my mother on her birth certificate it said Negro. Then we became Black. Then Obama made us Black American. And my understanding, there was some underlying reason for that, but that's political, so I don't want to touch that. I want you to know why I use different proxies to describe who I am. I'm a Negro. For me, I'm a Negro. My mother on her birth certificate, it said Negro, an American Negro. And I say that because it's history associated with American Negro. So I claim to be a Negro. Some people want to be Black American. Some people want to be African American. So when you see me say Black American and Negro interchangeably, it's a description of the same person, the same people, okay? And that is descendants of Choctaw slavery. Okay, so previously I've been forgetting to put the questions in. I lack consistency and or I don't know words don't come to me. Consistency is another word I want to say, but it won't come. Uniformity. Okay, I realized because it takes so long, I take so long to go to do the next video because of the depression, that I forget or I'm not consistent. Okay, so I'm going to move forward. I'm going to talk about these questions. And also, I want to say to you, I have stuff everywhere. I haven't been on the court website since I think 2022. Okay, the last time I called the court, this young lady sent me some documents, and they gave this man an additional $30,000 of my money. So the family court of Los Angeles is guilty of corruption, anti-Black hate crimes, constitutional violations, fraud, and the cover-up of the fraud. And you guys, I see how quick I forgot. I forgot where I was going with that. Where I was going with that is, I'm so sorry. Please bear with me. I'm redoing it so I don't sound so convoluted. I forgot what my train of thought was. Okay, so I'm going to move forward. I forgot what I was trying to say, but that's why I write it out, and it's best that I stick to this. I'm going to stop improvising because I get convoluted, and I think that it makes it very hard for you those who want to understand. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Because I have stuff everywhere, I have to go back to previous videos when I find things, documents, because I read some stuff a couple of weeks ago and it hurt my feelings. It was like I forgot, and I'm reading what they did. I think I was reading about October 25th and how they lied on the minute order. Okay, so I read the minute order from October 25th. Today I'm discussing, I think December 18th, 2020, December 18th, 2019, the court date, okay? The previous video was about October 25th, 2019. After I did the video, I went to some of the documentations. It's hard for me to read documentations, you guys, because I read it and I see where they lie on a minute order, that they don't tell the truth. And I want you guys to know that the court reporter is a party to this. Okay, they're guilty too. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that as I go on and I get into things in order and I take time, you guys, I want to show you all this stuff I got and all this paper everywhere. Okay, I've been putting it in order according to date and what it is. Okay, when I read it, I feel sick. It hurts. It hurts. I can't express the pain that I experience when I read it. I have to read it, find the evidence, put it on Judge Sarah Heidel's erases, or tell you and let you know where it's at. When I read October 25th, 2019, this was like 2 weeks ago, I was brave for a minute, but it hurt because Judge Lawrence Riff and other governmental agencies or lying and being deceptive, putting fraudulent information in court documents to harm me. And to be able to demonstrate to you guys what it is, you guys, it's so blatant. It's so blatant. But it's so, it's brazen. That once I put it out here, the truth does not line up with a lie. You're going to be able to see that they premeditated, with premeditation, attempt to harm me. And the most hurtful thing is because I'm Black. This should have been a simple divorce. Maybe it should have took 2 or 3 years where we identify each other's assets. I haven't had a job since 2008, I think. I didn't have no assets. Our assets was joint. I was a housewife. Okay? All they had to do was do what the law says and split it in half. This is California, no fault state, no fault state. And you're going to see how they hurt me. In America, they hurt me because I'm a Black woman. And this white man I was married to, which just hurts me the most. He was wrongly enriched. And the most hurtful thing is he left me in a bed bug infested hotel for 3 years. I'm going to tell you, the bed bugs had made me lose my MF mind. There's more to that. I'm not going to jump ahead, but stay tuned. So let me go ahead and read. I'm going to keep going because I spent like 25 minutes just wasting y'all's time. So I've already spent 12. So I did say, I'm hoping I said about the Tulsa, Oklahoma thing, right? I hope. See, I forget. And this is why it's so hard and why it's taking me so long, because I'm suffering from depression and anxiety. But for my Black son, they broke in my home, put me in the street during COVID, sold my home illegally, and gave the proceeds to this white man. But for my son, when you see homeless people in the street, it was COVID. There was nothing I could do. She never gave me spousal support, what I was entitled to. It was COVID. They were trying to kill me. When we put this before a court of law and we look at the facts, they were trying to kill me. This was genocide. Again, I'm going to keep going. But when it's all said and done, this was attempted genocide. And I don't say murder, I say genocide because it was the intention was to hurt me because I'm Black. It's an orchestrated effort to harm Black people. And the same court is doing the same thing. They took Judge Lawrence Riff out of the family court, and this is how brazen they were. They put that man in the civil rights department. He's guilty of constitutional violations, and Los Angeles court system put a man who had so many complaints on the Robin Room that the Robin Room stopped taking comments about Judge Lawrence Riff for several years because they didn't have the bandwidth or the space on the server to accommodate the complaints against this man. And if you guys work in the judicial system and you're attorneys and lawyers, and this is very common in the judicial system, this is an ability, this is a opportunity to hold them accountable. Okay? And so moving forward, that they will think twice before they harm another Black person just because they're Black. So again, and I want to say, I've been forgetting to do the questions. So previous videos, I didn't do the questions. So what I'll do again, I don't know if I said this already, but I'm going to say it again. I'm finding things as I go. I'm going back to previous videos, and I'm updating with information, or I'm putting the evidence on the website. So how you'll know if I've updated it since you last reviewed it is that I'll put the date on the last time I updated it. It's been 14 minutes, 15 minutes. Let me move forward. But I'm so sorry that I'm belching. I drink no water. Does the court continue? This is the questions, okay? We're going to answer about the specific video, part 12 of California Commits Hate Crime. Does the court continue to, does the court continue attempt to obstruct my ability to have a fair trial by multiple court officers and court employees rise to the level of organized corruption? Is the continued pattern of moving court dates evidence of misconduct and collusion? Should the sheriff and the court officers be charged with obstruction of justice, collusion, or criminal offenses? Ontario Contreras and the Sheriff Shirley, maybe Sheila or Shirley, I forgot, but I'll update it. Okay, so real quickly, I have previous motions or where I wrote letters to people, whatever, and I told about this lady. So today I don't remember, but I will update it and put the proper information eventually because I have documents that say when it was fresh in my mind that I wrote it. Okay, so the last one, Ontario Contreras and the Sheriff Shirley, shows a pattern of collusion by attempting to change my request from Family Code 171 to 17.6. I think I already said the did I already say the my affirmation? If I didn't, I'm going to say it again, okay? Because I can't remember if I did or not, and I like it. So, I effectively communicate my story to those who have concerns. Sharing my story will help facilitate my healing. My story is reaching powerful people who have the knowledge and ability to help me obtain justice. I'm a Black woman descendant of child slavery. The ancestors will help me improve life for Black Negro people. I will help Black Americans finally live in harmony. You guys, I remember I already said it because I can't remember why I was using different names. Imagine going through life living like this, okay? Okay. I learned that the court date was moved on December 11, 2019 without notification. This is a tactic continuously used by Judge Heidel. I just happened to look on the court calendar while looking up the address to Stanley Mosque. I was attempting to file the motion to disqualify Judge Sarah Heidel for racial bias and misconduct. And let me say this to you real quickly because I'm thinking about this as I go and I don't remember stuff. If there's something I'm saying that you don't remember, you don't understand, or it doesn't make sense, please leave a comment. Please leave a comment and say what you said doesn't make sense, okay? And I'll be able to explain it, okay? Because I'm afraid that I'm not communicating effectively because I'm having cognitive issues because of this depression and anxiety, okay? I was attempting to file a motion to disqualify Judge Sarah Heidel for racial bias and misconduct. I just happened to notice that the court website read motion for attorney fees, December 11th. There was a Vexatious litigant court date on December the 18th. We were supposed to have both on the same day. I called the Pomona courthouse and a clerk responded telling me Heidel had taken the request off the calendar. On December in 2019, I filed a motion to disqualify Judge Heidel under Code of Civil Procedure 170.1. Disqualify Judge Heidel for racial bias and misconduct. I took the request to the sheriff in Pomona to have Judge Sarah Heidel served. Okay, so because I have an income, I qualified to have the sheriff do the subpoena to serve the whoever they did it for free. The sheriff would. I could either have someone do it for me. I think they either can, someone else can mail it or take it to the whoever serve the person, or I can have the sheriff do it. Okay, so I filed the motion, and this is what happened. I filed the motion to disqualify Judge Heidel under Code of Civil Procedure 170.1. Disqualify Heidel for racial bias and misconduct. I took the request to the sheriff in Pomona to have Judge Sarah Heidel served. This is what happened, okay? A sheriff, a Filipino woman, I believe her name is Shirley or Sheila, called my cell phone requesting that I make a change to the subpoena. So what happened, you guys, and I remember vaguely, again, I'm going to say this. I'm going to put this on the website. As I go through everything, documents will come up. I'll read things and I'll be able to correct the name and the particulars. Okay? Because what I want to talk to you about right now, not what I want to say, but I can't say it correctly because I don't remember exactly. That day, I was attending. I was planning to go to the to the Stanley Moss Court in Los Angeles, and I think I was going to go to take care of something Judge Lawrence Riff um, told me to do on October 25th. Okay. Um, Let me say this real quick. I think I said it before. I'm gonna keep going, but I went through this minute order like 2 weeks ago, and it was very hard. It was very painful because I read where then I may have said this already in this video. If I said it before, forgive me because I don't remember. I read the minute order from October 25th. I saw where they lied and misled what actually happened. Okay, so as we go on and you put the pieces together, you're going to understand why I'm saying this. Okay, so let me stay focused. So what happened is I filed the motion. I had the sheriff to subpoena Judge Sarah Heidel. I took my subpoena to the sheriff to have her subpoena. This is what happened. A sheriff, a Filipino woman, I believe her name is Shirley or Sheila, called my cell phone requesting that I make a change to the subpoena. When I got there, she claimed that I needed to take the service to the Los Angeles Sheriff, which I believed was a lie. Okay, so I remember because I was asleep. She called me and she woke me up. That same day, I had planned on going to Pomona to Stanley Moss. So you guys, in this um, situation, in these cases, there were stuff held in Pomona and there was stuff held in Stanley Moss. They did stuff in Stanley Moss. Judge Sarah Heidel sent things to Judge Lawrence Riff because that was her boss, and she was getting him to help her harm me. Okay, so it ended up being moved to Stanley Moss. And you guys, I'm going to stop this and I'm going to continue because it doesn't make sense. I don't understand why it was sent to Stanley Moss because he kept sending it back to her. Okay, so let me keep going. So when I filed a motion 170.1 to have Judge Sarah Heidel removed from the case for misconduct and racial bias. This woman, and you guys, I'm going to find the phone records, and they won't be there maybe immediately when I upload this video and put it on the website. But eventually, what I want you to know, and I may have already said it, as I go through everything and I read, I'm going to be more clear about what happened, and I'm going to have evidence. And so periodically, I will go back to previous videos and I will update it. And one of the things that I'm referring to is like the phone records. The phone records that this woman called me and woke me up and made me come. So let me go ahead and read this to you. A Filipino woman, I believe her name is Shirley or Sheila, called my cell phone requesting that I make a change to the subpoena. When I got there, she claimed that I needed to take the service to the Los Angeles Sheriff, which I believe was a lie. I was adamant about having her serve the judge. Please pay close attention to what the sheriff did. She whited out the motion to disqualify 170.1 and enter 170.6. That document I'm going to upload and put it on the website because I have it, okay, with her whiting it out. I am confident that the sheriff did this under the instruction of Judge Sarah Heidel. I made her change it back. The reason why she and Ontario Contreras, I'm going to put the video in here, that when he did it, the reason why she and Ontario Contreras
But from what? You gonna remove me
attempted
because
to
I'm asking a
assist
question?
Heidel in evading my request disqualify her. The sheriff and Ontario Contreras both tried to make my file make me file the California Civil, no, it's CCP's Code of Civil Procedure 170.6 because a preemptive challenge has a time limit. Okay, so let me say this to you. It's a 170.6, 170.1. They both tried to make me do a 170.6 because there is a time limit. I think it's 15 days or 60 days. It's a time limit. So they kept trying to make the legal records or the documents say things that were wrong, so they have justification for how they rule. Okay, so the clerk who I have video, so I'm gonna put the video of Ontario Contreras. Ontario Contreras. You guys, let me do this. I'm sorry. Let me stop for a second because what ends up happening is it takes me longer because I don't have notes. So I'm gonna put in here if I can find some damn paper. You guys, I'm so sorry I'm stopping because I'm going to put in here. So what ends up happening is I go back and have to watch the video and to see what documents I need to put where. Or the video at 12. I'm sorry, you guys, because it takes me longer because I'm not organized. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making a note for myself on part 12 that 26 minutes in, I need to put the video on Ontario Contreras not allowing me to file my 170.1, that he attempted to make me file a 170.6. He made me sign paper that said 170.6. He made me. Okay. The clerk who I have on video threatening to call the security in his attempt to assist Heidel in evading my request to disqualify her. The sheriff and Ontario Contreras both tried to make me file the 170.6 because the preemptive challenge has a time limit. You must file it within the first 60 or 15 days. I'm not sure. An attorney who was harmed by the court told me it was that time limit was less than 60 days before the court. Okay, I'm confusing you. I thought it was 60 days. Somebody else told me, an attorney told me no, it was 15. I knew the proper thing back then because I was able to research it. Now I struggle with reading and comprehending and being focused. I was filing the motion to have Heidel disqualified for racial bias and misconduct. The reference number 170.1, remembering Heidel recused herself from the restraining order that the petitioner filed, part of the criminal organization plan was to deny me of spousal support to cause me mental and financial harm. Again, Heidel recused herself from the restraining order. Heidel did not want the record to show that she knew the petitioner. Okay, so let me explain to you what I'm saying because I know it sounds kind of convoluted. I'm not trying to file a 170.6. A 170.6 is like when you just say, I don't want the judge. In the case of Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman, multiple times, George Zimmerman's attorney used this preemptive challenge to have the judge moved or a new judge. Because he was an attorney and it was a non-black person, the court adhered to it. In my case, they fought me and they tried to stop me from doing what the law says I can do. So what I'm trying to do right now is explain to you is why I'm justified. I didn't want 170.6. And I didn't because I didn't know I could, first of all, right? Because I wasn't represented, which I should have been, okay? I'm referring to Judge Sarah Heidel recusing herself from a restraining order. This man filed a fraudulent restraining order. And Judge John Slauson denied his request. And I'm going to tell you guys, maybe I'll put it up here. I didn't know this about 6 months ago. Judge Slauson was supposed to be the judge. Judge John Slauson is the only person who I went before one time who ruled in my favor. He's the only one who followed the law. And I don't think he's a judge anymore, okay? So again, I might have it here, the original filing of this man. And on the bottom, it was a stamp and it said Judge Slauson. And I didn't know that. They moved it. And when I do my investigation with a FOIA request and I'm able to raise enough money to get an investigator and an attorney, we're going to have them explain why this case went to Judge Sarah Heidel. It went to Judge Sarah Heidel because she knows this man that I was married to. And she purposely wanted to harm me because she knows him, okay? I'm not going to get into what she knows him or what's going on with him and her, but the facts are going to show that she knew him. He filed a fraudulent restraining order on me. I talk about that in previous videos. She recused herself because she was the judge on record, okay? She recused herself because in my response, I tell how he says that he came over to the house to clean the pool and I assaulted him. Some he said, some lie, but Judge Lawson realized he was lying. Judge Lawson is the only one who acknowledged that he was being he's being, I can't even say the word, I want to say he's not being honest. Judge Slauson is the only judge who followed regular procedure. He questioned the guy, he investigated, and his conclusion is that this man was not telling the truth, okay, about the restraining order. And I'm talking about the restraining order right now because she recused herself from the restraining order. She is demonstrating bias, okay? If she was not had any inkling or appearance of bias, why did she recuse herself? She actually recused herself because in the response, I say she knew him. She didn't want to incriminate herself, so she gave it to this other judge. And so, please follow along. The 170.1 is a request to recuse a person for misconduct and bias. It's the bias is shown by the mere fact that she recused herself. She recused herself because she didn't want to show bias. So her recusing herself is evidence that she was biased. That's why I'm referring to the restraining order. So I know that this doesn't always make sense. I want to clear it up. So I'm going to keep reading. Again, Heidel recused herself from the restraining order. Heidel did not want the record to show that she knew the petitioner. If Heidel found it necessary to recuse herself from the restraining order, she should recuse herself from the case. Any indication of improprieties or question of the judge's ability to remain objective in grounds for recusal. The mere fact that Heidel had the mind to recuse herself from proceedings and is adequate reasoning that she be disqualified. It exceeds any test, okay? So Judge Lawrence Riff eventually makes her recuse herself, okay, to keep his hands clean, okay? But throughout the time, she refuses to. They do things illegally to circumvent the process. Other court officers and governmental agents, judicial officers are a party to her trying to circumvent the process of having her removed. Okay? I'm going to say this to you. I'm just going to say it and I'm going to keep going. Because this is my God is good. Other people who have been harmed by these judges are in contact with me. They're sharing their story. One lady tried to have one of the judges, I think it was Judge Heidel, disqualified, and she had an attorney. I have, she sent me the transcripts, and the judge says on the transcripts, because there is a request to have me disqualified, there's certain things I'm supposed to do. I don't know what they are, but the transcript that this lady shared with me was additional evidence that in my case that they didn't follow the procedure. Okay, I'm not going to confuse you because I know I'm confusing you, but keep moving forward. Okay, I want to point out that Sheriff had no real reason to request that I come to get the subpoena. I can supply the phone records upon request. You guys, I gotta find the phone record. Y'all, I'm a pack rat. Okay, like I have stuff everywhere. It's just a matter of me finding it, and it's taken me a time because it hurts. I cannot stress to you guys that my body has pain. That when I go to read, my brain shuts down. Right now I'm having anxiety, and for some reason, y'all, I got this Apple Watch. I don't know how to use it. I want to show you my heart rate, and for some reason, it won't show up. I'm gonna put it on the heart rate, and I know, so I'm scared. My God, my resting heart rate is 65 beats per minute. It may not be like really high. It might go to like 105, 95, but what I'm showing you to my heart is racing. Oh, it looks not bad. It's 87. Let's see. It's 87. Almost okay. It's 84. I'm learning these breathing techniques, so let me breathe slowly and see. Because I'm scared and I have fear and I can't proceed. See, that's not too bad. I feel anxious though. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. But my resting heart rate is 65. Y'all, it's going down. Ah! But I'm scared of my heart. I feel anxiety inside. So I don't know. Let me see it for a minute. Let's see. I don't know. It's like it's going down. My shoot. I don't know if this thing's working right. Let me go home because I'm being honest. Like inside right now, I'm anxious, and so it's not now. It's trying to transcribe or transmit. Look at me, can't talk. But eventually, I'm gonna try to leave it here and show you. And so, what it was 78. See, you guys, look, it's going down. Maybe it goes down because I stopped talking. I don't know, but sometimes I'd be so scared it gets like 105. And 84 it's like 84 is not bad. And if you're a doctor or whatever, my resting heart rate is 65. Is it 85 because I'm talking? I feel scared inside. So let me just keep going. I feel scared inside. Okay. I want to point out that the sheriff had no reason to request that I come to get the subpoena. I can supply the phone records upon request. Eventually, you guys, I think I'm going to put the phone records on the website. So again, I'm going to update. When I update, posted, I've already posted. You might want to go back and see previous posts to make sure that you are up to date. Okay. Eric Carter continues to file motions because she knew she had the favor of Judge Heidel. In the fall of 2019, Eric Carter filed a vexatious litigant request. Heidel coached her on September 23rd, 2019. Include page from the transcripts. This was their attempt to tie my hands behind my back. I believe Heidel to be in cahoots with opposing. As you review the evidence, you will notice that opposing and the court had countless communications without me presented, which is contained in the court procedure. So let me tell you what happened, okay? So a lot of stuff I didn't know because I wasn't there. They would do things without me, okay? And I read, I think it was September 23rd. I didn't go to court. I didn't sleep or something. For some reason, I didn't go to court. They moved the date something, okay? When I went back and read the transcripts, Heidel is asking the petitioner's opposing attorney questions. In her asking her questions, she's prompting her. She's coaching her to file a vexatious litigant against me. A vexatious litigant is saying that I filed things without merit, just to prolong the procedure. And okay, which is not the case. I'm filing pre, I think it's called pre-trial hearings. Um, that it's normal and usual, especially in a long-term marriage. Long-term is 10 years. My marriage was 23 years. Our assets exceeded over $2 million, okay? In this transcript, Judge Heidel is coaching, opposing to file a vexatious litigant against me, okay? A vexatious litigant states that I can't file a motion without requesting or asking, called a pre-order. I have to ask the court to let me do it. And you guys, y'all, I got them on video. You listen. I'm taking too long to put this stuff out here, but wait till y'all see what they do. Okay, so it's called vexatious litigant under Code of Civil Procedure 39B. I'm going to put a link to what it is. Okay, and what I want to explain, because I think this is what this video. I'm telling you what happens. What I'm explaining is that Heidel, in the transcript, it shows that she's coaching the petitioner to file a vexatious litigant motion against me. Okay, so to tie my hands. And you guys, it's crazy because this racist judge, with premeditation, malice, is trying to harm me. And other people are party to it. You guys wait till you see this one racist woman. She is causing all these people to be guilty of hate crimes against me. Collective, premeditated collusion amongst different. So, and every time I talk to these people, when I talk to the people that do it, I'm like, listen, this started with one racist white woman, and you guys are all jeopardizing your livelihood by being a party to what she's doing. And it's crazy. Not one of these people do what's right and try to help me or go against these people who are breaking the law. And this is what I mean about California is the most anti-black state in the country. That the conscious and unconsciously, when you consciously and unconsciously, when you are in opposition to a black American, a Negro, everybody works in concert against the black American. This man is white. This is why this is so important. This is going to set precedence. This is a marriage between a black woman and a white man. This is not a private agency, a private organization. This is the government that's harming me when I am in litigation with a white person. And it's historical what they do to black people. And I'm going to reference the GoFundMe because this is not just for me. This is going to create precedent and demonstrate, like Tulsa, like Black Wall Street, that is government sanctioned terrorism and attempted genocide. So I'm going to put the vexatious litigant specific on below, okay? I'm not going to go too much into it, but they filed it. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to tell you what eventually happens. She finds me vexatious without due process. Okay, I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to finish. Okay, so this was the court attempt to prevent me from fighting for my rights and prevent me from filing court motions in court. I was filing pre-trial motions. What they are implying is that my motions were without merit. Each motion I filed had merit. My motion was or motion or normal pretrial hearings. Compare and contrast my divorce to. I'm gonna put the case number here. So, and I want to reference this. When you go back to May 3rd court date, the opposing attorney appeared on both of our behalf, okay, asking to move the court date. And this is when I had an attorney, and all I had was $5,000. And the attorney agreed to both attorneys to move the court date, but the judge denied it. And she denied it without merit. She denied it because she wanted to harm me. She's showing bias in favor of this white man. So what they're saying is that I'm filing all these pre-trial or I'm filing these motions that are not without merit, that I'm just trying to waste the court time or delay. And I don't have no reason to delay anything, you guys. Had Judge Sarah Heidel not wrongly ruled against what both parties wanted, we wouldn't still be in court. It would have been handled. I told you, I called one of his attorneys and asked her to refer me to a male attorney, a black male attorney. And so they were free. I wanted her to refer to somebody she knew that could be my attorney, and then they just could negotiate what was fair. Okay, I told you that on previous videos, and if I haven't put my phone records or the email with her, I will put it on there. Okay, so I have been an extreme disadvantage. Several things continue to occur that I am unable to counsel because I am not an attorney. Coupled with health challenges, the first time I went before this judge, I communicated that I needed representation. I explained that I was struggling with a concussion. Heidel continued to challenge me about the legitimacy and continued to try to confuse things. During the June 21st, 2019 court hearing, I explained I was without representation. Oh, that's when I read where she made up a reason. Oh God, you guys. The attorney that I hired went back after he talked to this attorney, went back and had me sign a limited scope agreement. So what happened was I hired the attorney. After he talked to Ariel Carter, he called me, Charles Majors, I think his name is, called me, and they made me do a supplement to a add what is it called? When you update something. Sorry, it won't come to my mind. Amendment. They made me amend the original agreement between me and the lawyer. Okay, and this is what keeps happening. When they talk to Attorney Ariel Carter, they changed things. The attorney that I hired a appeals attorney. Watch what you guys. When they talk to Ariel Carter, they change. You guys, we're going to investigate. We're going to figure out what's going on. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to say this, I'm going to say allegedly. The white male abusive alcoholic works with the court. He works with children in the court system. This is alleged, but I suspect that these kids are being sex trafficked. And the reason why I believe this, and I've said it before, this is alleged, because his behavior and because my attorneys change, they do something that implies that they're in cahoots with his attorney after they speak to him. After they speak to her name is Ariel Carter, Attorney Ariel Carter. After they speak to her, when I hire someone, after they speak to her, they change. So I hired, it's called CORE, and his name is Simon Bawani, okay? I hired him, Indian guy, very personable, very smart, seemed caring. After I signed the agreement, they came back and tell me to do an amendment saying it was limited scope. In the June 21st, 2019 court, I asked her to, and I've said this before, I asked her to advance the court date because Simon, when they remove themselves from lawyer, it's a name for that. Okay, it's a technical name. He removed himself from, he was no longer my lawyer. And I'm not going to go into all of what happened, okay? So June 21st, she went ahead, had the hearing. I asked for an evidentiary hearing, but she denied me. And in the documents I just read, that's what I read. She makes this reason saying that she denied advancing the date because the lawyer was hired limited scope, but he wasn't. And you guys, when this all comes out in federal court, they don't have, none of it makes sense. It all points to them harming me. This all points to everybody being against me. And they're against me trying to stop this man who makes over $200,000 a year to pay me what he's supposed to for spousal support and give me half of the marital assets. It's crazy. So let me keep going. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna try my best not to go off script, okay? Because it's been 51 minutes, and I probably gotta talk another 20 minutes. So I'm gonna try to stay focused, okay? I've been in extreme disadvantage several times. Several things continue to occur that I am unable to counter because I'm not an attorney. Coupled with, see you guys, see I'm scared. I'm scared. You see that, you guys? The first time I went before the judge, I communicated that I need representation. I explained that I was struggling with concussion. You guys don't want to stop and it hurts so bad, but I'm going to keep going, okay? Heidel continued to challenge me about the legitimacy and continues to try to confuse things. During the June 21st, 2019 court hearing, I explained I was without representation, that I was, I'm going to make a note for myself, you guys, so I can write in it without, bear with me, guys, because I just read the minute order, and the minute order was done years ago. I don't remember if I knew she did the minute order or I never read it. Sometimes I wouldn't read things because I would fall into a depression and be sad for like weeks, and my mind wouldn't let me read. So I don't remember if I read it before, I didn't get it, whatever. I don't remember, okay? So I just read this a couple of weeks ago. So I'm making myself a note so I don't have to keep going back and rewatch the video when I update the website. During the June 21st, 2019 court hearing, I explained I was without representation, that I wasn't mentally able My cognitive ability is severely impaired. During the hearing, while I gave testimony, I completely lost my train of thought. Judge Heidel saw my face and saw that my face went blank. I saw in Heidel's face that she realized that I was truly suffering from medical issues. The issues challenged my ability to defend myself, not to mention my husband was represented by counsel. Heidel did nothing to ensure that I was on even playing field, which are the basis of marital equity according to the California Family Code. So I have this court number for a court case, and I think it's the one that we're going to compare and contrast. So I'm so sorry, guys. I want to stop because I'm scared. It hurts. So what I'm talking about right now, I think it's December 18th. I haven't got to it, but I'm going to eventually. Right now. And what I'm saying to you is I'm letting you know that, and the appeals attorney I'm not gonna get there, but he is also in collusion with them. Okay, June 21st, 2019. I asked for, and this is a previous video. I asked for an evidentiary hearing, meaning that evidentiary means that I can question them and I can have witnesses. The court documents are going to show that I filed this. The appeals attorney should have had this overturned. This one is multiple items that he didn't do. I'm gonna tell you about him, okay, y'all. This is where y'all, okay. He didn't do this. He is in cahoots with them. He didn't. I don't want to get to tell you what he didn't do it about what happened with him because I'm gonna get there. But this is one of the things where he should have had the case overturned. June 21st, 2019, she denied me of having representation. My attorney, I forgot what it's called. It's when he replacement or he the word means replacement, a sub out or something like that. And this is June 21st. On June 19th, he stops representing me, and I talk about that on the June 21st's post, right? I asked for to have to advance the date so I can have a representation, and I have a legal right, a constitutional right to an evidentiary hearing. I requested an evidentiary hearing with witnesses, and she denied it. My appeals attorney did not address it. I'm not gonna get into what he did. What he did is, you guys are gonna be like, this thing just hurt this black lady. And hopefully this will be that what I'm hoping that I went through all of this to have these people removed and set precedents. Okay, so let me see where I'm at. So now the matter of the second request for attorney fees. Okay, I did a request for order. It was originally on December 18th. Each time I filed a request, opposing filed something to counter. And she always requests that it be heard on the same day as my request. If you review September 23rd transcripts, the court makes Ariel Carter aware of the request for attorney fees. Then this is when I believe the court alerted Ariel Carter of the change in the court date. Okay, so what happened? So what I'm trying to tell you is I filed a motion for that's what happened. I filed a motion for attorney fees, which I'm entitled to. I think it's Family Code 2030. Okay, I keep referencing this. This is one of the most. This is one of the main violations. Is that I was in a court. You're supposed to be on even playing field in the state of California, where it's a no-fault community property state. If he has an attorney, I should have an attorney, especially if he can pay for both of them. Okay, which he could, right? They deprived me of having an attorney. Each time I tried to file a request for attorney fees, she would do something, okay? She gave me the $5,000 first time. That's how I got Simon Bahawani, which seemed on a level. Then when he had a conversation with Ariel Carter, he came back and asked me to do a limited scope to amend the original agreement, which I shouldn't have done because we were already in agreement. Which points to collusion or something about Judge Sarah Heidel and the opposing. Okay, so I'm losing my train of thought. So this is what happened. What I'm going to talk about now is December 18th. December 18th is Vexatious litigant hearing. They heard my request for attorney fees too, I believe, right? And what I'm telling you, it wasn't originally on December the 18th. It was originally on a different date. Okay? You know what? I'm going to keep going because I'm forgetting it. I'm not sure I'm saying it properly. Okay, I'm trying to go from memory and I might not be wrong. Right. Because they did so many things to me. As I go on and I read. So again, I've written motions and complaints. So those old requests will update me and remind me of what actually happened. So let me just keep going. On December 18th hearing for Vexatious litigant hearing, I can't stress enough about my health condition. I was in an abusive relationship that lasted 2 decades of my life. While dealing with chronic pain for a severe injury, a post-concussion syndrome, and the weight of Heidel's obvious bias, I had already experienced issues with insomnia. These weighted issues rendered me completely helpless. Days leading to the hearing, I didn't sleep, had migraines, and extreme insomnia. I would have these sleepless episodes. The sleeping aids sometimes worsened my situation. I was taking like over the counter like sleep aids, and sometimes I don't know if it's just calming, but sometimes it just make me anxious, and I couldn't go to sleep. My mind would shut down. My body would get tired, but I couldn't go to sleep. I had a couple of sleep studies. Okay, so I really had severe insomnia. The sleeping aids sometimes worsened my situation. I would be literally awake. My mind was shut down. I was afraid to miss court dates because the time that I missed, they did things that I didn't learn until months later when I obtained the transcripts. December 17th was another sleepless night. I hadn't slept in days leading up to the date of the hearing. In the middle of the night, I knew I wasn't going to be able to function. I made 2 calls to the court. One at 3 a.m. to leave a message, and I made a second call maybe around 5 a.m. I was afraid that I couldn't drive. When this happened, my head is spinning. It's hard to maintain focus, and I'm sleep deprived. So what happened the night before the December 18th Vexatious hearing, you guys? On December 17th, 2019, I'm not sleeping. I am showing evidence that I didn't sleep by calling them. So my phone records are going to show that I called them on 3 a.m. to leave a message, and I called again at 5 a.m. because I'm not sleeping, you guys. Okay, I'm sleep deprived. I struggle to explain. I am sure many who are reading have also experienced a lack of sleep. For me, it was tenfold because I struggled with insomnia for years. I suffered from insomnia for years because I was in an abusive relationship. He would do shitty stuff to me, you guys, and I would fall into like deep depression because of the harm he would do to me. Okay, but I would just be sad. I had to have my son take me to court because there was no way I could drive. So what I ended up doing, I'm calling because I know I can't make it. You guys, I know I'm half asleep. I can't make it. Throughout the night, I'm thinking I'm just going to call them and tell them I can't make it. I'm scared not to go because they keep doing things when I'm not there. So I make my son drive. My son drives me there. Before giving details about the court date, I want to remind you, on December 18th, there was a motion to disqualify Judge Sarah Heidel for racial bias and misconduct pending. So I had filed a motion to disqualify Judge Sarah Heidel. And I believe I did multiple times. I tried to file a motion multiple times, and different court officers helped her in invading me filing the motion or serving her, right? So what I'm saying, because there was a motion to disqualify her, she shouldn't have had the hearing. Let me go further. She's going to learn. Let me keep going. So before giving details about the court date, I want to remind you, on December 18th, there was a motion to disqualify Judge Sarah Heidel for racial bias and misconduct. This was to be heard in District Court 2 by Sarah Heidel supervising Judge Riff. While there is a pending issue for motion to disqualify, all hearings and issues are halted. Please be aware, Judge Heidel continues to evade my motion to disqualify. First with the clerk, Ontario Conspires, and second with having the sheriff call me in an attempt to have me take back the service. To my surprise, Heidel had the hearing while there was other persons in the courtroom. Okay, you guys, it was 2 hearings. I think it was my hearing for attorney fees. I don't recall, but you guys, I'm scared to look at the court website because they, oh my God knows what they've done. Last time I talked to the court, they told me I owed him $30,000, and you guys, they keep having court without me being there, without proper serving me. To my surprise, Heidel had the hearing. While there was other persons in the court, she generally made us wait till the last so no one would witness the hearing. Heidel acknowledged the motion. She made some ambiguous statement that she became aware of the motion to disqualify, and again, she uses the words recuse. Remember, the recuse is the 170.6. I filed a motion to disqualify with cause. I struggle with giving action account in line with the transcripts because the transcripts have been compromised. Heidel tried to push to have the vexatious litigant hearing. As she and I have discussed, she says something about me speaking too fast. She always says this about me, you guys. And I do talk fast, okay? But whatever. I spoke slower than she said I was speaking too slow. I told her she always had an issue with me, that she always makes reference to my testimony, how she bullies me. I said these exact words to her. You are racist and a bully. You and those white people think you're above the law. When I said that, I pointed to the guy I was married to. When I said that, I pointed to the opposing James W. Gibson III, the white male abusive alcoholic. Okay? Because I'm scared. I don't know what to say. I wrote this, not remember what I wrote because I wrote it a long time ago, but let me say this to you. I want to give a good description. I made her nervous because she knows all the horrible things she's done to me. She's visibly nervous, okay? It's times that I went to court when I didn't have a court date. I go and sit and listen to her because I wanted to look at cases to compare and contrast how she treated non-black people compared to how she treated me. When I would come into court, she would get nervous, okay? It's been an hour and 7 minutes. Let me just continue. You guys, I'm sorry, I'm scared. I'm really scared. I want to give a good. I need to stop, you guys. I want to try to push through, and hopefully I can be done. I want to give a good description. I made her nervous because she knows all the horrible things she's done. She continues to speak to me negatively, but you can see she's uneasy. She now knows that I'm not a dumb black girl. She thought me to be. She continues to abuse her authority. She said something about striking the motion. Apparently, the bailiff Hill gave me papers but I wasn't aware. I can't stress how I was suffering cognitively. And I'm saying this because later on, the same day, something else happens. The bailiff, his name is Bailiff Hill. And it's this big fat black dude. And he is being mean to me. He's being aggressive to me, like I done something. And family, this is California. California is the most anti-black state in this country. And regrettably, the black people are part to the anti-blackness. I'm going to say this to you, and maybe I'll put this in here, and I'll cross out the person's name. It's a girl who I'm friends with, who lives in Texas, who used to live here. When we first met, me and her got into a fight, a disagreement, an argument, because I talk crazy about California. She was born and raised here. She's not my friend. Like, that's how, like, she's got to know me, and now we're friends, right? I love black people. Anyway, today or yesterday, she always be talking junk, saying, you don't like California, like she messed with me. And so me and her were messaging each other today, or maybe yesterday. And I left a voicemail saying, in California, black people fight each other, that they don't work together. And I'm sorry, you guys, this is really scary for me. Because this might be patterns of the same behavior in other areas. But California, guys, is terrible. They don't have unity here. And if you're from California, I'm sorry, I'm going to be mean to you. She was mad at me when I first met her. I'm going to put her, either I'm going to put her message either here or on a website, but I'm going to cross out who she is. She fought with me when we first got into it. She cussed me out. And I like her a lot. She lives in Texas now. Me and her still fight, okay? You know, girls, we fight. But today we talked, and I left her voicemail saying that she's trying to say that I don't like California because I complain. But you guys, it's beautiful here. Where I'm at right now, the mountains are majestic. The ocean is beautiful. California is beautiful. It's a low percentage of Black Americans because they can't thrive here. They're in captivity, so they can't afford to live. They're being discriminated against. And in this area, I call them being in captivity. And they're aggressive with one another. That's what happens because we default to what's called the reptilian brain. So with the reptilian brain, you're not thinking multidimensional, okay? You have low tolerance, and all you want to do is protect yourself. That kind of environment, and defaulting to that, having multiple people in an area, defaulting to the reptilian brain is aggressive, and they fight with each other, okay? And I'm going to say this to you, and if you're in California, please don't get mad at me. I'm trying to fix this for us. Like, for example, I was at the gym. Y'all, I'm real friendly. The Black people, they look you up and down and try to size you up. They don't say hi. They're not friendly. I'm not saying all, but this is the environment. And they behave this way because they're in captivity. Okay? The girl, she acknowledges this. She messages me and she says, I'm not going to raise my children in that environment. When we first met, she fought me. She argued. She thought my husband and I, she said, oh, your man must have broke up. What she said? She said, because she must have found someone else, like she went off, right? And this is my friend now, y'all. Anyway, this was over a year ago when we her first fought. Now we're friends. We talk about like TV stuff, like Tyler Perry, crazy stuff, like just like you know. And when we're in the room, she's like, oh, they call me Judge. She called Judge because my name is Judge Sarah Heidel, the racist, so they call me Judge. It's like, Judge, you don't like California. You like California. I was like, girl, stop saying that. She will always say that because I be talking junk, okay? I be talking junk about it's anti-Black. I love Black people, but I point out this behavior. But she gets to know me. She knows me. She knows I love Black people like I love air. So she know I'm not being mean. That my intention is to save us, to make us better. So I think it was today or yesterday, me and her were talking about, and I left her a voicemail about, she keep on saying in public, you don't like California. I'm like, girl, stop saying that. So I left her a voicemail. I'm like, girl, stop saying that. I love it here. I love the miles. I love the opportunity. I love all this great stuff. What I don't like is the anti-Blackness. And I don't like how Black people don't have unity. And not everybody. I'm not saying all. Like, you can't, it's not everybody, okay? But it's I want to say it in an intelligent way. A trend or a pattern that they fight each other, you guys. And I don't want to get into it. If you're in California, please don't get mad at me. But this is happening because you're in captivity. This is happening to you because they harm Black people. And what ends up happening is survival of the fit. That if you, like say for example, you were stuck on a mountain with 5 people and you're trying to survive. What ends up happening is they start fighting because they want to survive. They eat, the cannibalism, or say whatever, they're trying to survive. And this is what happens in the Black areas in California. It's a rat race. It's crab in a bucket. And it's not intentional. It's because the condition. And this is why I'm pushing this so adamantly, because this will be a step in getting rid of the people who are harming us. It's one step. But anyway, she ends up messaging me. And I know she goes, I'm not, this is the first time she admits it to me. She's like, I wasn't raising my kids in that. So I'm going to keep going, guys. So, I was getting to lose myself, right? I'm just going to keep reading. I'm going to stop improvising. She said something about striking the motion. Apparently, the bailiff gave her me papers. Oh, I didn't see the bailiff put the papers. It was papers on the side on the desk. And I didn't see him put him there. And I didn't see him put him there because I wasn't coherent. Y'all hadn't slept. I was sleep deprived. I only know because she mentioned them when she said she was going to strike the motion. She said the papers are on the table. Bailiff Hill had given them to me. Apparently, I then corrected her. I said the motion was to disqualify her for misconduct and racial bias, not a request for recusal. She again says she wasn't served. I asked her if she wanted me to read the complaint to her. She declined. Continued to say that she was improperly served. I told her Sheila had the service. Sheila is the sheriff who called me. This is when her body language changed. See, she was trying to tell me that she wasn't served. But because I know who was supposed to serve her, she became nervous. I'm going to tell you what she did. Now, remember, I have motion to disqualify her. So technically, according to the law, she wasn't supposed to have the hearing at all. Okay? Right? And we'll see what she does. When I say to her, I know who the sheriff is. So if we question the sheriff, if the sheriff attempt to serve her, she probably was the lady who called me. This is what happens. I then corrected her. I said the motion was to disqualify her for misconduct and racial bias, not a request for recusal. She again says she wasn't served. I asked her if she wanted me to read the complaint to her. She declined. Continues to state she wasn't properly served. I told her Sheila had the service. Sheila is the sheriff who called me. This is when her body language changed. She was surprised that I knew the name of the deputy. She must have instructed Sheila to call me to try to get me to take the service back. She's trying to get me to take the service back because she knows, I think this was the 11th of December, I think, you guys. In my mind, I think it was 11th because I went to LA and I think I was trying to file a motion to disqualify her. No, I was trying to file a motion for, no. Either I was trying to file a motion for attorney fees or something. Let me say this to you. I'm going to say this again. I know I'm confusing you. And I said this before. When Sheila called me, that day I was going to Stanley Mosque. Sheila's at the Pomona Court. I don't remember what I was going to Stanley Mosque for. I think I was going to Stanley Mosque to have them help me with the papers that Judge Lawrence Riff told me to have completed on October 25th. That's what I think, okay? She called me and she woke me up. I'm remembering, you guys. And that same day, I was going to go there. And you guys, this is kind of getting confusing, but I'm trying to go from memory. Remember, she called me. She told me to come. She tried to get me to take the paper back. She was either trying to make me file them in Stanley Moss. She was wrongful. She was giving me wrong information, or she wanted me to change it from 170.1 to 170.6 because it's this December 18th court date. Because I filed the motion and she was served, she wasn't supposed to have the December 18th vexatious litigant hearing. She was supposed to not, she's supposed to do whatever the service says, okay? And you guys, I'm a little forgetful, but I'm going to update remember, this is my video, but what's going to end up happening is I'm going to do a summary in writing on each post so you can read, and I'll try to do it clear, concise, and address the issues with the law specifically, okay? So she was surprised and I knew the name of the deputy. She must have instructed Sheila to call me to try to get me to take the service back. Judge Heidel jumped up in a panic and said she was taking a recess. My son and I left the courtroom. Bailiff Hill, the big black fat man, and Bailiff Hill, you know, man, you became cool at the end when you realized this BITCH was doing me wrong. I mean, you kind of came cool. He used to be mean to me, y'all. Big old fat dude, okay? Then when he realized, bro, I'm trying to take care of black people. I'm not doing nothing to this man. When he paying attention, he's seeing that this rich white man, and it hurt me. Probably what it was, he was probably mad because my husband was white. A lot of black men don't like that. Maybe white was mean to me because my husband was white. But he was mean to me at first. Then eventually he kind of chilled out a little bit. So what ended up happening was she says, when she realizes that I know who the sheriff who served her, that I remember her name, that I have the paper, I have the phone, her calling me. She jumps up and runs and says, we're going to do a recess. My son and I go in the hallway. Uh, the bailiff Hill takes the paper out of my hand that she gave you guys. I didn't know what paper was. I didn't know it was there. He takes them out of my hand and gives me different papers. Then he said, it's over. Okay, this is what he says. He says, sorry, you guys. Okay, my son and I left the courtroom. Bailiff Hill came and took the papers out of my hand. He replaced them with other papers. My son had his phone in his hand. Bailiff Hill said something to my son about the phone. It became a felony to record or that photo. I instructed my son not to engage with the bailiff Hill. And every time my son is 6'4", y'all. When I tell my son to do something, they be tripping how my son paying attention. I got a good son. My kid's good, okay? When I tell my son to get something, my son is 6'2". When I tell him something, maybe some boys are like, now some boys are good with their mom, right? He does exactly what I say because it's my kid, okay? It's my kid that I love. I stayed with this man for a long time because I don't want my son to be a statistic. One of the reasons why I stayed with him so long, okay? So my son had his phone in his hand. Bailiff Hill said something to my son about the phone. It being a felony to record or take photos. I instructed my son not to engage with Bailiff Hill. I told him he's trying to bait you. Then Hill told me it was over. He said the hearing was over. Be aware that this was a vexatious litigant complaint. I believe because she knew I remember the sheriff's name, she became alarmed. Again, alarmed. I was never given the opportunity to answer the vexatious litigant request. Technically, there was a request to disqualify her with a court date of January 13, 2020. She should have discontinued any proceedings until the request had been heard. As a reminder, Heidel has sabotaged my efforts to receive attorney fees again. Again, I remind you, a California Family Code 2030. You guys, I know what's going on with my thing. So it goes back after a minute. As a reminder, Heidel has sabotaged my efforts to receive attorney fees. Again, I remind you of California Family Code 2030. One of the most important aspects of one of the main things that they did to harm me, they didn't let me have an attorney, and then they deprived me of even being able to file. Okay, so this is what. Okay, I'm gonna say this to you. I'm gonna read this to you, then I'm gonna wrap it up. Deputy Sheriff calling you back. You guys, I'm gonna stop here because I have more stuff here and I don't understand what it is. Because guys, I do this. Like what I'm talking about now, I did months ago, so I forgot. Okay, so why it's taking so long? Because I'm sad and I'm depressed. So let me wrap up what happened. What ended up happening was I was going to court. It was for 2 court things because she heard my one thing. She heard my motion before she heard the Vexatious, and I think it was. I forgot what it was. Whatever it was supposed to be on a different court date. And they moved it to the 18th. They kept messing with the court dates. Okay, so I go to recap. It's December 18th, 2019, the Vexatious hearing. She hears the hearing knowing that there's a motion to disqualify her. Okay, and so remember, okay, I'm not gonna get too deep, and now I'm gonna once I research and understand it better, I'm gonna write it on the website where I post this part 12. Okay, so to recap, I had a court date, December 18th, 2019, for 2 things. I forgot what the first one was. The first one was mine, okay, of my motion. And the second one was vexatious litigant. She shouldn't have heard any of them because there was a motion to disqualify her on to be heard, right? She acknowledges that she understood, that she came to her attention, right? Then when she realizes I know who the sheriff is, she jumps up and she says the recess. She doesn't come back. She sends Bailiff Hill out in the hallway to tell me and my son that the court date is over, that the hearing is over. He Tells my son, I told my son to record stuff. Girl, you guys, I got so much evidence. I got these people did the rights. I got evidence, so much of it. Okay, like I'm a pack rat, and I record everything. Okay, I don't know if it's their video in the hallway of the courthouse, but I suspect it is. You see Hill come out and take the paper out of my hand and give me some other paper. Okay, and she did that because she knew that she wasn't supposed to hear it. Then at the elevator, this white man is laughing. He thinks it's funny. He's laughing. Him and his attorney, he's laughing, thinking it's funny what they're doing to me. And you guys, I don't know why he was doing this to me. I really don't know what made him do this to me. You can look at the transcripts. He's just an abusive alcoholic. And I put up with him for over 20 years. I didn't do anything for him to do this to me. I don't know if he was having an affair. You know, you guys, let me say this to you. I suspect that he may have been diagnosed with cancer. It's a reason why I might be wrong. There's a reason why I think that. And for many years, you guys, I listen to Joel Osteen. Okay, I'm spiritual. Okay, and I kept saying to him, "That you keep on hurting me, that the universe is going to harm you. It's going to repay you." And I don't know this for sure. I have reason to believe that he may have been sick with cancer. And I might be wrong. I just saw a picture of him on Facebook for his job. Look, you guys, look at me. I'm just so scared. This is what happens to me. Let me wrap this up because I'm taking too long. Now I'm thinking about it. When she said, Bev Hill tells me that the case is over. In the courtroom, she says, we're going to recess. The allegedly, the court reporter is working in collusion with the judge. Okay, I'm going to be able to prove that eventually. Okay, I told y'all I filed complaints with the people who police the court reporters. They're all in concert. They all work together, you guys. California needs a reset. So let me get ready and wrap it up. So let me just say again, because it's been an hour and a half, so I'm going to give me just one quick minute. Something else I'm supposed to say to y'all to end, but I keep forgetting what stuff. I'm sorry. Okay, so to recap, this was December 18th, 2019. There were 2 hearings. Specifically, the Vexatious litigant hearing, she determines that I realized that the sheriff was supposed to serve her. She becomes alarmed because I know who the sheriff is. When she's saying she hasn't been served. When I say the sheriff's name, the sheriff probably attempted to serve her, and the judge made her call me and try. This is how brazen they are. The sheriff is being told by the judge what to do, and the sheriff is in compliance. This is what I'm saying, where they are willing to hurt black people. So she gets up, she jumps up, and Judge Sarah Heidel, I'm gonna get you, sweetie. I'm when I say I'm gonna get you, then I'm gonna have you removed from the bench, and if I'm lucky, I'm gonna have you prosecuted for the harms, for the crimes you committed against me. That's my goal, is to have you prosecuted for the hate crimes and the cover up and the fraud that you, not just to have you removed from the bench. I want you prosecuted. Okay. Bill SLE, I never say his name right. Bill SLE was named by Donald Trump to be the federal prosecutor. And you guys, Judge Sarah Heidel used to work in the same central office for the federal prosecutor. This is why I need you guys to help me with the GoFundMe, because I'm going to have to hire an investigator. Okay, so wrapping up again. Because I'm looking at where I'm at. I don't know. So to recap, December 18th, it was a vexatious litigant hearing. vexatious litigant where Judge Sarah Heidel coaches, Judge Heidel coaches um, the opposing to file this motion. Then, when she realizes that I know that who the sheriff was who was supposed to subpoena her, she jumps up and says recess. Then she has the bailiff come out and change it to I don't even remember what the paper said. He took the paper out of my hand and gave me a different paper, and that's because she knew she wasn't supposed to have the hearing. Okay, and so you guys, I'm gonna wrap it up, and I hope you understand. Gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm just glad I got through this. It's October. It's April the 8th, 2025, because it's 12 a.m. in the morning, and I'm gonna stop here. And with God's grace, I'll give it in the morning. I'll do some more recording. Please, I'm begging you to please donate to my GoFundMe. What I'm gonna eventually do, I believe, like I serve a good God. And things are hard. I'm thinking, and I know I'm kind of out there. I go back and forth. I serve a good God. I said, I don't know why this man hurt me like the way he did. I will watch your OC, and my God is good. He would do abusive things to me. And on Sunday mornings, I will watch Joe Osteen. Whatever sermon Judge Osteen would say about what's up to his sermon, always related to something that was going on with this man. And I'm watching Joe Osteen. He in the bathroom. He nasty. He just nasty. This man is just nasty. And in our conversations in our marriage, I keep saying, "You better stop. God gonna get you for hurting me like this." And I low-key think he has cancer. I think I might be wrong. The reason why I think that, I saw a picture of him on his work website. He's changed jobs without telling me. And his insurance, I ain't gonna get into that. But on the website, he was losing his hair. His skin looked really different, and he had sparse eyebrows, but his eyebrows were gone. He looked like he was having chemo. And one time he came over to the house to give the dogs a bath, and he had when they put a Band-Aid with a little cushion when they take blood from you. And I asked him what the Band-Aid was for. He was like, none of my business, none, and I'm about his health. So what I think happened, I think his father died of cancer too. You guys, I don't know this for sure, because this was my husband, and I hate to tell the truth, but this man was my soulmate. We wasn't married for 23 years because we didn't love each other. This man was my soulmate, but he was an alcoholic who had demons. And him leaving me in that bed bucket bus hotel for 3 years. Him, I don't know, was he or the judge who had these sheriff break in my house? I just don't believe he did this to me. And any marriage is ups and downs. This man was my soulmate for 23 years. And, white people, if you're watching, I don't think anything negative about white people. My daughter's biracial. I'm not a racist. But for him to weaponize my blackness, I don't know what to do. I'm just like, why the judges could have did things in his favor and been biased. They traumatized me, took everything I owned, put me in the street, sold my home, horrible things. And when you study this, you're going to see that I didn't do anything. I hope you understand. I think I need to say it one more time because I feel like I'm not going over this properly. There was a December 18th Vexatious hearing where the judge coached the opposing attorney Ariel Carter to file a motion against me. I'm thinking, because remember I told you guys I was going to go to the court that same day. This is when I found out she filed a motion to vexatious litigant. I went to the self-help. The self-help. The attorney told me that it was a vexatious, and I didn't even know what it was. Okay. So I hope you guys understand. I think I'm gonna stop. I appreciate you. Please listen to my videos. Piecemeal. I know I sound crazy. Please help me. Please don't let me go through all this pain and I don't get anybody to help me. I keep on saying how I'm going to get through this, how I'm going to get through this. I need help. And I'm smiling because I know the kind of person I am. If I saw somebody going through this and they came to me, I would help them. And I know everybody's not like me, but I know there are people in the world that are like me and will help. So you guys, it's been an hour and 35 minutes. I appreciate you. I'm gonna stop. This is California Commits Hate Crime Part 12. Remember, I'm gonna update the website and I'll put the date that last time I updated it. So to let you know if you've read it, has it been updated? Okay? Or if you have questions, actually, in the next video, I'm going to recap everything. I'm supposed to do it now, but I don't remember. And I don't have time to say. I got to go back and look at everything. I'm trying to keep notes and be organized, but I'm struggling with that, but I'm working on it, okay? So thank you for listening this long. Part 12, California Commits Hate Crime. I'm not supposed to tell you something, but I don't remember. I'll remember next time. Thank you. Y'all come fuck with me. Now, I don't know how to stop it because I'm doing it on iMovie. Thank you, you guys.